Good evening, everybody. Before I start, I wanted to say a couple things. First of all, I'd like to wish myself happy birthday tomorrow. But, on a more serious note, today is the birthday of the Marines, and those are the ones who I really would like to wish happy birthday to. So happy birthday to the Marines today. I'm going to divide my speech into two parts, so please bear with me. The first part is going to be pretty negative. And the second part is going to tell you what I think is the best thing that we need to do. But almost everybody in here, I assume, is a member or wants to be a member, has been or will be a member of the Republican Party in some shape, form, or fashion. However, I know for a fact that's not true because there are several people in here that are not a member of the Republican Party. I can tell you a story of somebody I met not too long ago in my campaign. They asked me to come visit them at their small business, and I did. And I talked to them, they talked to me, and I was amazed how similar our ideas were and how what they thought our government should be doing was similar to what I thought the government should be doing. These people have never been involved in politics before. They wanted to get involved because they were tired of what's going on. Now, their ideas are exactly like mine from what we discussed. And they live in Catoosa County. So did they go join the Catoosa County Republican Party? No. They started their own party, the 912 Project. They started a part of that down here in Catoosa County. And as the Tatums are sitting back there in the back, please take time to talk to them this evening before you leave. They'd love to have you at some of their meetings. But it's not a plug for them. What I want everybody here to understand, there are thousands of people like that around us right now, tens of thousands in our district, hundreds of thousands across the state, and millions across America that have never been involved in politics, have never come to a dinner like this, who think like Republicans, act like Republicans, but don't feel comfortable with Republicans. Now that is our fault. Because of what a couple other people said earlier, we failed when we were given the chance. We didn't live up to our principles. Now I want everybody to understand something. There are Republicans all across the nation, and I bet most of you in here uphold Republican principles in your daily lives. Those of you that own business probably uphold Republican values then too. So why is there this big backlash against the Republican Party right now? The reason is because we keep electing professional politicians to do the job that business owners and citizens are supposed to do. And until we stop doing that, our party is in trouble. So this isn't necessarily a speech trying to get you to vote for me, at least this half of the speech isn't. But I want you to think about that when you cast your ballot tonight, when you cast your ballot in July. Do we want to send a message to the Republican Party that, yeah, we're pretty happy with keep electing professional politicians. We're pretty happy with the status quo. We like the path the party is going on, so I'm going to vote for this professional politician or this lobbyist. Or you could vote for me. You can vote for me, here comes the positive part. You can vote for me, somebody who got into this race not for a job promotion, not because it was an open seat, because it was the right thing to do. I got into this race before anybody else did. I got into it because I thought it was time to remove the politicians out of Washington. And I was going to run against Nathan Deal, who I'm sure a lot of you in here like. I don't have a big problem with Mr. Deal. But I have a problem with politicians trading pork for pork. When it comes to our district, we don't call it pork, but when it goes elsewhere, it's called pork. That has got to stop. Last November, on Election Day, Congress's approval rating was right around 30%. The incumbents that ran for re-election in Congress won with an average margin of about 65% of the vote. So everybody said, Congress, they're awful, but not my guy. I'm going to re-elect my guy. And as long as we continue to do that, folks, we're going to get the same thing. What's the definition of insanity? I've heard somebody say doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. If you're going to keep electing professional politicians to fill this position, we're going to keep getting the same thing. I don't care how happy that person makes you. I don't care how great of a person he is. We've got to stop this process, and we've got to stop it now. One of my ideas, and this is a fundamental part of my campaign, I want everybody to understand this. There's not a situation, a problem, an issue out there that can be solved until we solve one major thing. our progressive tax system. It has to go, and it has to go now. We have almost 50% of Americans who do not pay any federal income tax. Those people are in favor of health care and earned income tax credits and all kinds of other stuff. I used to work at the IRS. I did return after return after return of people who never paid a penny in taxes but got big refunds. That's your money. And as long as we allow almost half of Americans not to pay federal income tax, don't expect anything to change. I am for completely eliminating corporate income taxes. Corporations do not pay taxes. You pay them. You pay them in the form of lower wages or higher price for goods and services. This suit that I bought didn't pay a nickel in sales tax. I paid it. It's the same thing in corporate taxes. Some people would say that it's a good idea to lower the corporate tax, and that's fine. They say that our current tax rate on corporations is one of the highest in the world, and that is true. But our effective tax rate, and that's what's important, is one of the lowest in the world. So why don't we have businesses locating to America to get the lowest effective tax rate? Because of that difference between the written tax code and the effective tax rate. That's called compliance cost. And if you just lower the corporate tax, you're still going to have compliance cost. You've bought nothing. How did we get the VW plant over across the line in Tennessee? Cutting corporate taxes. Imagine the inflow that we'll have in our country if we had a corporate income tax of 0. Jobs will be solved. People will start paying attention to their politicians because when they want to propose a health care bill, they can't say we're going to just raise taxes on businesses. They're going to have to come to the people and say, your taxes are going to go up. And if the people want that, then the people can elect people who will do that. I'm not going to stand for it. It is time that we start acting like Republicans and we put an end to this madness. My website is jonesforus.com. I certainly hope that you'll take your time to look at it tonight and send me messages. Thank you.